Canadian author, and this is a video. So it's the middle of the year, so I decided I would jump off and do the mid-year Freakout book tag thing. So join me in my iced chai tea with espresso in this adventure. So first of all, I want to acknowledge I finished my Goodreads goal for the year, which I didn't think was going to happen. So my next kind of goal is to read physically 50 books. Now I believe audiobooks count, and if I don't do this, I don't really care, because A, audiobooks count, but B, I've read so much academic literature this year, you know, 10 to 15 articles a week, plus research for term papers and term projects and books for that and textbooks. Like, I've read so much more, and I was actually tracking it mostly, and I have most of it tracked, and I should do like a tally. Maybe that's the next video I'll do. But yeah, so I've read so much that's been academic. I don't really care if I'm listening to fiction or nonfiction or whatever, or, you know, however it goes. So with that said, I'm done my Goodreads goal for the year. So next year, I'm probably going to keep it at 50 still, because maybe I'll up it to 55 or 60. But this year I have the summer off. Next year I will not. So part of the reason why I'm reading this so much is because it's like my main activity currently. And I still think I'll read a lot because I still want to be doing these videos. I don't think I'll be doing daily uploads during the school year, but we'll see. Maybe it will be more academic based, I don't know. Anywho, without further ado, let's get into this. So the first prompt is the best book you've read so far in 2022, and that has to be The Turnaway Study by Dr. Diana Green Foster. Insert cover here. And this is a nonfiction, semi-academic book about, basically it follows women who are both granted and denied abortions at various points in pregnancy, and how their outcomes and their children's outcomes, if they were denied an abortion, were affected by that experience. And I am firmly pro-choice. I think people should do with their bodies as they wish, so long as it's not hurting anyone else. And even being so firmly on that side of the debate, I learned a lot, and I found out that I had many misconceptions about what it meant to be granted or denied an abortion in the States. Here in Canada, it's different. The outcomes would most likely be similar, but the way we approach things is a little different. But yeah, so it's like 5 stars all the way. I think everyone, no matter your political views or your moral or philosophical views on humanhood, should read or listen to this. I found the audiobook version very, very accessible. So yeah, and there's also, you can find all the published academic literature as well. I can't think of the website off the top of my head, but it states it multiple times in the book. So yeah, I think by far the best book. I think it will be my best book of the year. Yeah, so that's great. So the best sequel so far I've read this year, I haven't read a ton of sequels. I've read the Swing series, the graphic novels. I read The High Road, and I read My Brother's Husband. So there's not a ton of series or sequels there, but by far it was My Brother's Husband Volume 2. My Brother's Husband follows a brother, or a guy whose brothers recently has passed away in Canada. This is in Japan. And his husband comes to visit the brother and his child, and the brother learns a lot about himself and like kind of starts to understand certain things more and understand prejudices he had, and things like that. And it's so many times I teared up because it was just like so cute and heartfelt, and it's just a lovely, lovely story. So, new release you haven't read yet but want to. I don't follow a lot of new releases. I don't maybe I will this next year now that I'm doing this. But I don't follow a ton of new releases. So what I was most interested in that was coming out this year was I Kissed Sarah Wheeler by Casey McQuiston. But it's their first YA novel from what I've heard. And I'm not I'm reading YA, but I'm not super duper into YA right now. And I preferred, or I guess I can't say preferred because I hadn't read it yet, but I like Red, White, and Royal Blue and One Last Stop. I actually think I want to do, maybe I'll do a little reading vlog and I'll read I Kiss Sarah Wheeler, and also the other two I'll do a reread of. But yeah, I'm not sure. I was all over it, and then I found out it was YA, and I was like, maybe not. But good on the offer for trying something new. I haven't done it yet. You know, I will end up reading it eventually. I was gonna race out and buy it because I bought the other two. But I think what I'll do is I'll get it from the library once they have it and whatnot. The other thing though is my chapters only had the green covers, and you gotta keep the Casey McQuiston pink book universe alive, okay? It's what you gotta do. So the next prompt is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. And as I said, I don't follow this, so I'm gonna do a little self-promo. It's mine. It's my collection that I'm releasing November at the earliest. December, it's coming out in 2022. I'm very excited about it. Anywho, but I haven't been working a ton on it lately. I don't know exactly what's been going on. I think life's been a little wild lately. And I haven't had a ton of inspiration to write, or work on it in general, but I think part of it is because it's been postponed. I was originally releasing it in August, but for things kind of within and without of my control, it will be released in November. I'm still very excited about it. I'm very proud of what this collection is saying. And it isn't the story I expected to be telling, but I'm very happy it's the story I get to tell. I guess part of it is that I don't know where it ends yet. So we'll do that. We'll figure that out together. Anyway, before I start crying, but if you would like to read some of my current work, you can find the buy link and the Goodreads link for my first collection in the description below. Anywho, I will also be doing a cover and a title reveal soon. Hold it. Hold your horses. Hold your horses. Okay? Calm down. Calm down. Okay. Biggest disappointment of the year so far. I'm going to say Kink Stories by R.O. Kwan is the editor. It's an anthology. It was bad. It was really, really bad. Genuinely, it took me forever to get through it. It's an anthology of short stories. I simply hated it. Hated every second of it. There was a few, I think there was 1 4-star, maybe 2 3-stars, but there was a lot of 2 and 1s. I think I tallied and my final rating was a 2.3. It was bad. But yeah. My biggest surprise was The Date Swap by Lydia Westing, which you can, it's in my latest Whateverathon vlog, I believe, that I finished it. But I gave it 5 stars, and I do not do that for romance. I guess I have in the past. Red, White, and Royal Blue got 4 stars, and then some YA romancy elements have gotten it, but normally they have to be gay. They have to be queer. But it was just so adorable. I couldn't stop smiling while I was listening to it. It was just so cute, and I loved it, and I highly recommend. So basically, these 2 people end up in an airport, and they're going to family weddings right beside each other, and their parents and their family expect them to show up with someone, and neither of them have someone to show up with, so they like plot and they get to like pretend to be each other's significant other. And it was just great. It was funny and I just loved it. And it's a really short one too. It's I think it's a novella. So it's amazing. I loved it. So big surprise, I gave a romance 5 stars. So favorite new author, I don't have one really, because like Lydia Westing, I also read another short story collection from her and I only gave it 3 stars. But I guess I haven't read like more than one book by an author besides Shannon Maguire and Lydia Westing. So I said Shannon Maguire because I gave both of her books that I read, which is the first 2 Way War Children books, 4 stars. And I'm going to continue on the series on audiobook. And I mean, she narrates them as well, and it's absolutely amazing. So, yeah, I don't really have one. I mean, I gave Animal Farm 5 stars, so I want to say George Orwell because I want to be cool and trendy and hip. But I honestly don't know if I have a favorite author to begin with. I guess an author that I've read a ton from and loved a lot of the stuff, like 4 5-star ratings, is Alex Sanchez. Did not discover him this year though. Been reading his stuff for 5 years now. I read, he released a comic book this year, which was really, really cool. I loved that. I gave it 4 stars. Not the point though. So next prompt is newest fictional crush. I don't really have one. I think I haven't read a lot of like appropriate books for that. Like it's just not the sort of thing I did. If I had to, I would say like the characters from Fangs by Sarah Anderson, but that gets weird too. Like I don't know. None. Newest favorite character has to be the little girl. I cannot think of her name, but the little girl from My Brother's Husband. She is so adorable and it's so cute to see the way she sees the world, and she's just so cute. A book that made you cry is, and always will be, And Every Morning the Way Home Gets Longer and Longer by Frederick Bachman. This was a reread. I read it in 10th grade and I read it this year, and it's a book I want to reread every year. I introduced it to my partner. I cry like a baby every time. I just sit there. It's a 70-page novella. I just sit there and I cry. That's what we do. And my partner was like, Emma, this book is so sad. And I was like, I know, it's so beautiful. But definitely made me sob like a baby. And I've also, so when I read it in 10th grade, I've never had like an experience of an elderly person in my life getting sick in any way. But since then I've had like big events like that happen, and I was like, it hit me way harder this time. So yeah, just yeah. A book that made you happy, once again, The Date Spot by Lydia Westing, just made me smile ear to ear so much. It's just so adorable. Go read it. And then the most beautiful book I've bought so far this year, I have not read, but it is this vintage Fitzgerald copy of The Great Gatsby. I just think it's so beautiful. I got this from Value Village. I just, the tone and just the silhouette, I just think it's so pretty. And books that I want to read by the end of the year. So for this one, I'm going to say anything I have ongoing. So Come Closer by Sarah Graham, something like that. I'm almost halfway through right now. The Female of the Species, I'm like 36 chapters in on audio. Then do I have anything else going on audio or on ebook? I don't think so. So then I have like books I've started physically, so like To Kill a Mockingbird, but those 3 I intend to finish this month at least. And then the next wave, which I'm not really enjoying, like there's been a lot of misses and a few hits, that sort of thing. And this is a Canadian anthology of poetry, post 2008, 2001, something like that. And then Where the Dead Sit Talking I also started before Whateverathon. I put these two, well, I started this multiple times and put it on pause, but I started this one and restarted this one in the end of May, and I thought I could finish them, but then life got busy and I didn't, so I've put them on hold until Whateverathon is done. And then I would like to read The Great Gatsby. Like, I want to read a few more classics this year. And then whatever else I feel like. I'm very much a mood reader type person. I don't love set TBRs. I haven't minded it so far for Whateverathon, but I've kind of deviated from it as well. I think if I set like 4 books I wanted to read in a month and then just mood read the rest of the month, that would probably be good for me. So that might be what you guys see from me for the rest of the summer. But yeah, there's nothing I'm like absolutely itching to get to. I want to work through some more of my nonfiction. But I don't know, it's just really hard for me to read nonfiction physically. But yeah, that was the mid-year Freakout book tag. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm really impressed with myself. And yeah, if you want to see more from me, as I said, you can check out my first collection, which the buy link and the Goodreads link is linked below. And you can also check out my author page to keep updated on that sort of stuff. But yeah, I hope you're having a great day. Bye.